Hi, Steve and Caleb from Brownells here, bringing you another episode of Smith Busters. And today, Caleb, where are we going on this journey?
Man, Steve, I love Smith Busters.
Well, yeah, me too. It's a lot better than working.
It is, but we're filming one, so
Yeah.
we should probably continue on that path. We have magazines in front of us here because this is something that really grinds my gears, Steve.
What's the myth?
Really
What's the myth?
chaps my, the myth is that high capacity, a 30 round magazine's a high capacity magazine, Steve.
Well, it's certainly not a low capacity magazine.
It's not a low capacity, but one would say that it is a standard capacity.
Oh, standard. Okay, I get where you're going.
So, by definition, a 30 round AR-15 magazine is a standard capacity magazine.
I suppose. Although the early ones had 20 rounders, I think.
Yeah, but
Still better than 10.
It is. The definition of standard is used or accepted as average.
Well,
Or
these days 30 would be pretty average unless you're living in one of the restrictive states.
Yeah, so take like a M&P, for example, your 9mm M&P's standard on what is like 15, 17 rounds?
17.
17 rounds. So that's your standard capacity, right? So in states that prohibit high capacity magazines, they have to make a special 10 round version. So anytime you have to make a special version to get the capacity down, you're the problem. You're no longer the one dictating the standard.
This is personal.
This is very personal. Not that I live in one of those states or have any.
No.
I'm feeling for the people who have to live in those states. I've never lived in one of those states. This isn't my issue. It is my issue because, I'm here doing this. I'm getting angry for you guys is what I'm trying to say here.
And some there have been laws that have been repealed, but then there are other laws that have been enacted. It's going both ways all over the map, it seems like.
Just like, if you would have Googled the definition of an assault rifle a few years ago, you would have saw a different definition. They changed the definition of that to be what they wanted it to be.
Right.
I'm saying they a lot. You know who we're talking about.
I know who you're talking about. But at one time, a Marlin Model 60 was kind of an assault rifle because it held more than 10 rounds in that tubular magazine.
By today's definition, it's an assault rifle. By then's definition, it wasn't select fire, so it wasn't an assault. But
Right.
it's all sketchy and weird. But point I'm trying to make is, this magazine, which holds 30 rounds, this is the normal magazine manufactured for an AR-15. Every normal AR-15 ships with a 30 round magazine. So this is used or accepted as normal or average, therefore it is not a high capacity magazine.
Yeah. And we happen to be living in a state of relative quiet as far as magazine restrictions, legislation pending in that. Magazines are cheap and available right now. Now's the time to buy, not when the panic sets in. This isn't really a commercial, but this is the time when you buy, just like you should have bought your primers back when they were available. Magazines are available now.
Yeah, you're not going to be fighting me for magazines. I have more than I know what to do with, so you go and get your share.
All right, I know where to come and get some.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to buy any of this stuff here. This is speaking of standard capacity, this is a standard capacity
M249?
setup for a M249 squad automatic weapon. This is standard capacity, even though it is 200 rounds. So high capacity, standard capacity has nothing to do with any blanket round count. It's
Right.
firearm specific, what's accepted as the normal, because of what they normally ship with. Going back to that M&P thing, an M&P normally ships with a 17 round magazine. That's a standard capacity. So high capacity magazine bans in those states, they're banning a standard capacity magazine because they want it to only hold 10 rounds. It makes no sense.
Right. A little firearms knowledge would go a long way with some groups.
So much, Steve.
Yeah. Anyway, the myth is, say it.
It's busted. What was the original? How did we even word it originally, Steve? Because I just said busted. I don't even remember how we originally worded it.
I think it was something to do with the standard being called a high cap.
Oh yeah, so a standard capacity. So a standard AR-15 magazine is not a high capacity magazine. Yes, that myth is it's busted that this is a high capacity magazine. It is not busted.
All right.
There.
With that, we'll limp on out of here. If you have a question or comment, please leave it below. We'd like to hear from you.
Listen, words are hard.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time with yet another episode of Smith Busters.